When you're talking about fighting as it is, with no rules,
real fighting.
Well then, baby, you better train every part of your body.
In the modern era of the UFC, who has more memorable and highlight reel-worthy knockouts than Anderson the Spider Silva? There are tons of knockout artists, but who has been more impressionable, more influential than Anderson the Spider Silva? We have been blessed for years to see this man perform, and in all honesty, probably inspire many generations of fighters.
I signed my contract. Let's do it. This is probably my last fight. I'm so happy to fight Ryan Hall. This is an amazing fight, a big show for UFC and for the fans. Thank you guys. See you in UFC.
Many people could argue who's the greatest of all time. Obviously, Anderson Silva is one of the top 3 names in that. Obviously, GSP is another you mentioned, but who has been more influential and memorable than Anderson Silva? I know me personally, I was inspired to hit the gym and learn martial arts. Besides people like Bruce Lee, after Bruce Lee, who comes along, who can you mention as a martial artist that inspired and motivated hundreds, thousands, maybe millions, and many generations of people to want to not only train mixed martial arts, but be him? I'm sure if you ask many of modern day fighters today in the UFC, behind the scenes, they say, hey, who inspired you? Who made you want to be a UFC fighter? A lot of guys have Anderson Silva in that mention. Sad to see him go. Sad to see him close an era. But unfortunately, all things change. And the guard will be passed. And it's bittersweet. He deserves it. The guy deserves a break. How many knockouts he's going to give us, Thank you for all the years, Anderson Silva. Thank you.
Dynamic striking that I do the videos, the instructional videos with. They say Anderson Silva, Teddy, greatest of all time. So I went and I looked at his tapes because I want to see for myself. So I look at myself, and just like when Cuss looked at Nadia Comaneci, it didn't take long. I watched some of his tapes, and as soon as I saw them, I said, champion, greatness, special. When you're seeing someone who is different. The same way as back in my sport, back in boxing in the 1920s, there's always somebody who is the first to bring you and bring the sport to that next place. A pioneer. And then came along guys like Ali. Again, different. You can even say Roy Jones when he was young. Different. They walked to their own drummer, to the beat of a different drummer. And when I saw Silva, I looked. I didn't have to have the expertise of these great UFC people that are out there, but I didn't need that to see what I saw and to recognize it and appreciate it and say different.
not about money. It's not about become famous. It's about how much you love your job, how much you have a passion inside your heart. I just try to challenge myself and create something different because I train the different martial arts. I train Wing Chun, I train Muay Thai, I train boxing, I train wrestling, Jiu-Jitsu, Filipino boxing. And when I start to come training, imagine you training the different disciplines and put in your game. I'm a warrior. I'm real fighter. You know, I think this fight right now is very important for me. Is very important to doing something for UFC fans and for my fans too. You know,
If you guys are like me or all the other Anderson Silva fans across the world, watching his retirement fight was a little hard because we got to see that Anderson Silva still has it. He doesn't just still have it, he even showed differences and growth. Here's a man, you know, well into a long career, and he still shows desire and he still shows room for growth. So we got all really excited. We see him going against one of the most talented fighters there is in Uriah Hall. And, you know, he controlled a lot of aspects of that fight before the ending. As many know, if you watched it, spoiler alert, Anderson Silva loses his retirement fight. But there's hope because he shows interest in wanting to fight again. Even though he just retired, he wants to get back in there again. He's always wanted to box Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. just had a fight with Mike Tyson. I'm not going to give the outcome of that. Actually, everybody knows the outcome of that. It was a draw. But Roy Jones looked good in that fight too. There's good potential that Anderson Silva could fight Roy Jones Jr. Or who knows, come back to the sport of MMA, even though Dana would like him to stay retired. So there's a lot of hope for the future. There's a lot of things going on too, because Khabib just got an organization, a promotion. Maybe he could fight on Khabib's league. And then while that's going on, ONE FC made an offer. They said, come finish your career in Japan. After retiring immediately, Anderson Silva feels like there's more of his career to come.
Every morning to go train.
So we look forward to the future with you, Anderson Silva.
Secret, you know, I think it's about how much you love your job, how much you have a passion in continuing doing something special for your fans, you know. And for me, it's about love. I love my sport and I love my job.